Yo, welcome to another episode of That's Dope. My name is Godzilla. We got Joshua, and we have a very special friend on the podcast, Picolo. Super excited to have him. I've been a fan of Picolo for a minute, actually. So when I first met him, I was geeking out, but I'm trying to be cool. I'm like, no, he's cool. Hey, just be cool. But he was so cool. Like, you're just so cool. I really... I won't forget, it was during New York Comic-Con, and we were just eating, in this outdoor restaurant. It was super cold, but you were just the coolest dude, and we started bonding over Pokemon Unite, and I was like, okay, this guy's a real homie. And then, I've been meaning to get you on a podcast, so it means so much. Thank you for jumping on.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, man, dude. And also, you're busy right now, right? You are in the middle of making a lot of content, right? New books with DC, right? New art, which I definitely appreciate. Tell us what's up in your world.
Right now I'm working on the Starfire book, which is the 5th book on a series of Teen Titans graphic novels that I've been working on. That takes up most of my time, and when I have the free time, I try to sneak in some illustrations. That's what you see on my social media. There's a whole plot line. There's a whole another story going on the post that I do on social media, and then it's the story that I actually do for work at DC. So I get to draw these characters quite a lot.
Man, how do you feel, Alec? How's all that been? Especially I guess let's start from the beginning. So.
Okay.
First, you, at least the way I knew about you, a few years ago, where I would see the current Teen Titans, and Teen Titans, as if they were homies. Honestly, that's how I describe it. Where it's just people hanging out, cool clothes, they party together, and then it's just become this whole world, right? How'd that get started, and how'd you, I guess, transform it all, keep evolving with it?
That was basically me as a fan, looking for that kind of content, like modern, Teen Titans, they behaving because we see a lot of the superhero stuff. That's what their comics are all about at DC. And then I was looking at this more casual sort of vibe, and I didn't find a lot of content. And I was like, hey, I can draw that kind of stuff. And that was basically how I started drawing these fan arts. And I just really, really, really love these characters because they were my very first contact with superheroes, even before I read comics, because here in Brazil we don't have comic book shops like you have in the US. Mm-hmm. So we only get the omnibuses and the volumes, and they're a little bit expensive. They're not super accessible if you want to get them. So the cartoon, which aired on TV, was my very first contact with those characters. That's why I love it so much. And then
same. Okay, cool. I'm glad to hear that because it feels like everyone that knows about Teen Titans just already knew about everything about Teen Titans. Oh yeah, didn't you know Cyborg or the 90s? And I'm like, sorry if I'm a noob for going about it because of the cartoon. The cartoon legend.
Right. I actually got into the comics after watching the cartoon.
And I think that's fair. I think the cartoon, the Teen Titans from the comics, I'm sure Picolo knows the same. It's that the comics don't even cover the same team half the time. They cycle out characters all the time. So it's the team that we got comfortable with on the cartoon is the definitive team for our generation that we like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to see Beast Boy and we want to see Cyborg. But if you look at the old teams, it's Wally West sometimes. It'd be I don't know. They would cycle people in and out. Cyborg wasn't on it half the time. He wasn't on it a lot of the time, I think. There's a lot of random.
And
I think. Go ahead.
No, I feel adding to that, I feel the Cape Comic characters, they have this whole legacy that you kind of have to be aware of before you start reading comics, and then you don't know where to start. And a cartoon is this very easy entry point for everyone. So that's basically the whole point of the graphic novel that I'm drawing, creating this very easy entry point if you don't know anything about these characters.
I love it. It definitely it sort of reintroduced these guys. I sort of wish that I kept up with Go, I guess, because I heard Go is apparently good. But at the same time, it felt like seeing an old friend, and it's wow, they're doing great. You know, at least that's when like every time I look at your art, it's like, wow. I want to call up my old friends and be like, yo, you guys want to party? Yeah, that's how I feel every time.
Yeah.
one thing I love about the oh sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Don't worry about me.
No, one thing I love about the cartoon is that it introduces us to these Western comic characters, but it has kind of like a anime-ish kind of vibe, like anime elements in a way. And I love that. Like the only show that I've seen connecting like anime references and Western references were Teen Titans and Avatar: Legend of Aang, which are which are shows that are very much how do you say that are beloved like to this day.
Yep,
Right.
yep. Like legendary. Like I sort of wish kids, you know, I feel like such an old fart all the time saying this, but I'm like, I don't think the kids have those legendary cartoons like we got. At least maybe I'm not paying attention, but these cartoons legendary. I mean, the fact that we're still talking about making a new like have you heard about the Avatar, like they're supposed to be making a sequel cartoon soon?
I've heard, yeah, yeah, they're doing plenty of content, Avatar content right now, right?
Yeah, live action also, although I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
If it's good, I'm like, okay, I think it's gonna be good because why would they even touch that? Like, I'm just hoping it's gonna be good because
I know, me too. Same. Although for me, with the One Piece, I have absolute belief that's gonna be good. But otherwise, I'm like, live action. We'll see.
I totally get you. I get you on that.
Man. So I mean, that's dope. I mean, yeah, actually, I never knew. Like, so, like, what was like your cartoon regimen? I guess back in the day. Like, it sounds like we had like pretty similar cartoon diets. I guess like, um,
Um,
it's always cool to hear about international side. Like, what were other people watching?
so I watched anything that was airing on how do you say not free cable, not cable TV because my parents could not afford cable TV. So
Yeah.
whatever was like for free on TV, I was watching. So we had plenty of anime back in the day. I remember that I was watching anime before even realizing like what was that. So I watched Rurouni Kenshin, like Samurai X. I don't know if that's the name in English.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So plenty of Digimon, Pokemon,
Hey.
X-Men Evolution. That was my very first introduction to Marvel characters. I remember, and I still love that show too.
Yeah, Evolution, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
2000s,
Yeah.
Evolution.
2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. I thought
They
that
were
was
in
like the
high school,
perfect.
a majority of them. Except for
Yeah,
like Wolverine, I
Spike.
think. Wolverine
Yeah.
was an old man hanging around the campus like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I like that. I liked that vibe. I remember trying to watch the old X-Men, like the '90s one. And I like the
Yeah,
aesthetic of it, but
that
like,
one did not vibe with me. Like the
okay,
cartoon.
cool. I feel like a heretic if it's like you didn't like that one as much,
For
and
its
I'm like,
time. Yeah.
yeah,
It's fair. I think this is a fair assessment that like if you start from evolutions and then I'm like it's like playing Final Fantasy 7 and me being like, oh well, two's really good.
yeah.
Like you're not gonna want to go back and like you're like, okay, this is okay. But
That's a great point.
X-Men,
That's
the
a
original
great
X-Men
point. I
was
love
like,
that.
yeah, no, it was an amazing series. I remember loving it as a kid, like because when you look back at it, it's just like the old Spider-Man. Do you remember the Spider-Man animated series, like the original one?
Yeah.
Not original, the one from the 90s.
The
I know,
90s,
yeah,
yeah,
I know,
not the
uh-huh.
70s, yeah.
Yeah, I remember fondly, like I would leave school, I would save my lunch, leave school, go home, open my lunchbox on my bed and eat and like watch that and be like, this is the best time of my life. I remember that.
Oh,
I saw episodes of that
Yeah.
recently and I was like, they're just using the same scene like over and over for every fight scene. Like, I'm like, this is awful, dog. But like at the time, it was like, I don't know, it's your first time seeing Rhino. It's your first time seeing,
I thought it was dope.
Whoever. So
At least for me, Spider-Man made a lot more sense than X-Men. X-Men was just like, who are these people and what's happening? But at least I thought it was like at least a little more simpler plot. And then also, yeah, maybe like, they didn't have the world, but like I think they did a good job because I mean, before it was just Super Friends, right? And then now at least they have like,
oh yeah,
they
Right.
had that.
to Piccolo's point, what he was saying earlier about like the combination of Western and anime and like
Yeah.
having Legend of Zelda. God damn it! I'm sorry.
I know, right? I know.
having
Happened
the
to me too.
Avatar
Yeah.
and Teen Titans. Like, I think what makes those feel like anime might be the continuation, like the continuousness of the series, right? Whereas like every episode isn't episodic; it's not just by itself. Like when you think Adventures of Grim and Mandy or Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, Billy and Mandy. Yeah, you said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grim Adventures of
Yeah,
Billy
so when
Mandy.
you think the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, when you think stuff like that, or Codename Kids Next Door, or Dexter's Lab, it's very episodic, where you can just watch a random episode and it's like, haha, funny. Episode doesn't lean into the next episode. But then you have Teen Titans and you have, especially Avatar, where it's like every episode builds like an anime. And that's a completely different feel than what we were used to as kids in the West. Because I was used to like, just laughing at rocket power and then it's over. You know what I mean? There's no continuation. But now it's like, wait, like Starfire and him are mad at each other. They're not getting along. Oh, Aang and Katara are building on each other. Like that's definitely more of it felt like more of an Eastern thing.
Right.
The only other series that did that might have been Samurai Jack, but he wasn't talking to nobody. Samurai Jack was by himself the whole time, so you wouldn't even notice.
Man, that's a good point. Actually, I like that. Like, would you say, like, Piccolo? Would you say like, did you like anime or cartoons more? Also, did you like Digimon or Pokemon more?
I did not know the difference between anime and cartoons. Like that thing that Joshua just said, like the episodic thing. I realized that like later on, like when I was on my teens.
Yeah.
Then I realized that I preferred something that had like a continuation, like that followed, like the episodes followed up to build it up to something.
Continuum, is that the word? What are we
yeah,
for?
Right.
And when I was a kid, I much preferred Digimon just because it had this.
See, I knew we were.
The story was because I love Pokemon. The games, the games were always amazing. I was always a Pokemon nerd, but the anime didn't make me feel things the way that Digimon did. You know.
Right. Yes, sir. There we go. I knew you were real.
Like there's space for nuance here.
Yeah.
I feel like because I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Pokemon as an IP, like their monsters and stuff, like they're too close to me. Like I don't want to. I love the games. I like playing Pokemon Stadium. I liked all that shit. Digimon as a series, like a watchable series, is more enjoyable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But like I can't even tell you half the transformations anymore. I don't remember half of them.
I mean, it was a long time
one
ago.
of them is like a chicken that turns into an ogre. I don't know what's going on half the time.
Not wrong. But Digimon, I think also like, it sort of lends that like with the continuation at a continuum, right? Like where, I mean, shoot, I have the Pokemon, poster for Pokemon right there, right? The first movie, but I remember like feeling angry as a kid because I was like, wait, this is supposed to be the battle, this is supposed to be like that. Also, I think I like the sort of adultness of it, like whereas like, in Digimon, they beat up Digimon, then boom, they died, I guess. I don't know. They went away or they got good. Something happened, versus Pokemon, at least in the games, at least, they faint, they get money. Yay. And also the game, the guy is competent, whereas Ash just wasn't competent, just doing everything he can to not win until 20 years later, right? It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like I was 8 years old and I was able to go beat the Elite Four. You're 12, and what are you doing, bro?
I will never forget the feeling of watching Ash lose his first the Indigo League. Like that was so crushing to me as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was serious. I remember
how comes the protagonist does not win? Like where is this going?
Right. I would be okay with it if he like at least got better, like it was like, you took your first loss, but you got back up, you did better. It was just him just like not getting better for so long, I think.
For so long,
that's what killed me. I think that's what killed me. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Gazo, about the Pokemon the first movie poster.
Yeah.
I remember I was in second grade, which is wild when that came out.
We were
because I remember everyone had like the books. They were like, "Oh, Mewtwo Returns" or whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember I didn't get to go watch the movie, but I was expecting because this is like when the Johto League was about to start. Remember the Johto?
Yeah.
They had Tracy whatever. It was the Orange Islands.
Yeah.
Tracy pulled up out of nowhere, the camera guy, and I was like, I
Also,
remember
Piccolo,
being
did
like,
you
"Oh
guys
my
get
god, the
Brazilian
movie's."
openings? Oh, sorry to interrupt. Did you guys get
No, go ahead.
Brazilian openings, or did you guys like have
Yeah,
like
like so the Brazilian openings, they are translated opening based on the ones that you get in the US.
oh,
So it's basically like the same frames, the same everything, but whoever is singing in Portuguese.
wow.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's like English is based off the English, not the Japanese, but then is in Portuguese.
exactly,
That's pretty
exactly.
cool. Okay,
And
that
that's
was
and
that
that's
was
for plenty. That's for plenty of shows. Let's say Yu-Gi-Oh! It's just the same thing.
okay.
It was like the U.S. opening with like a kind of like a Brazilian Portuguese
Okay.
sayings, like lyrics going on in the
I'm always interested to
song.
see
Sounds
like
like make
where.
it work.
Yeah, because like I'll talk to my Korean roommates and like it's like Korean but Japanese based, right? So, yeah, that's cool to hear. Okay, sorry, Josh, to
Yeah.
interrupt what you were saying, but
Yeah, no, you're good.
mhm.
No, I was about to say, going into that, it was like when the movie happened. I remember my friends being like, "Oh, we got the Mewtwo playing card from going to the movie or whatever,"
Oh
and I was like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, this is crazy!" And they're like, "Yeah, it
yeah.
was a crazy fight, and people were crying and stuff." And I heard about all that, and then I watched the episode. The next episode, I was like waiting for it to come, like new season. It's coming Friday, and I watch it, and I'm like, nothing has changed.
Oh
He's
yeah,
acting
yeah,
like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I think that
He's
hurt me the
acting like
most.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And
it's
then to
insane.
Piccolo's point, he went to the fucking he went to the tournament, and I was like, I was there with him. I was like a 10 year, like I was even younger than him. I was like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna go all the way. He loses, and then the next season starts up, and he's like, "What beats water types?" I'm like, no, no,
I think
he's not
that's
learning anything.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The
That
first
hurt.
season's fine. You're a
Yeah.
kid. You're learning. I get it. You need
Yeah.
Brock there to explain things to you. But after a while, I'm like, bro, come on.
Right. What beats water? 100%. I feel that. So I definitely. Now we're on the vein of Pokemon. I definitely want to bring up Unite because you guys are like the best Unite players I know. Josh, like a little bit background. So like me and Piccolo, we bonded over like playing Unite. Like where I was like, I want to try it, but I don't know. And then he's like, Young Shonen, you're talking to number 15 in the world, and I was like, oh my gosh, I must
Oh,
do
wow.
this. And
What
then
season were you playing?
oh man, this was back in last October, like when that happened, right?
Okay, yeah. I might have been. I think I stopped by that time. I think I had stopped.
Oh man, and then Josh,
Uh,
he's the guy who taught me like even how to like do this at all. Like I had no clue how to do a MOBA. I had no clue how to play at all, and he even dressed myself. I look like a scrub. He's like, here's how you take a picture, Godswill.
Oh
Here's how you
yeah,
put your
you
clothes
got
on.
stunned out on that game. But
I was
you were apparently you were better than me, Piccolo. I got top 600,
oh,
but I thought I was a god. Top 600. I was like, not many people could beat me. I didn't know there was a 15 here.
and mid-champ, right?
Jesus.
well, based on champion, based on like I probably fell a few spots, but I was on like on the top board of the Absol players.
Yep. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Man.
What was
Yeah,
your name?
'cause
Do you
I-
remember? Well,
You can find me there as Picolo, like just like my name over here on the screen.
That makes sense. Yeah.
oh, that makes sense.
Like I'm very.
Who did you play?
I'm sorry.
Who did you play?
I only play Absol, like all the time.
Oh my god, that must have been menacing.
Like
Yeah, for people
this is my very first MOBA game ever. Like I've never played League of Legends or anything similar. So I'm lucky that I played this game back when it was releasing. So I had the time to learn and adjust to the game, while everyone else was learning how to play it. So there was this learning curve time. That I feel like if you're trying to get the hang of the game today with the meta and everyone knows what they're doing, it's a little bit trickier, but it's still doable. And then out of all the characters that were available in the first season, I was like, hey, Absol is my favorite, and then I stuck with that one to this day. Like I play only Absol. I can't play with any other character.
Wow.
That's wild. You're one trick. That's okay. There's actually a term for that.
That's
in
how to
MOBAs.
do it, though. I guess in a way.
yeah.
I would
But
like
it's
to
whatever
play.
the one that I have fun with, playing with. So that's the one I'm gonna stick with.
It's okay. Yo, in MOBAs, in any team-based game, whenever there's like a game that generally requires you to make switches or whatever, if you stick to a character, they call you a one trick. which is okay because one tricks usually develop metas around their character. Like you're probably the best Absol on the planet. There's only 15. If you're top 15 and one of those 14 above you aren't Absol, you are clearly the best Absol on the planet.
Right.
It's cool because then we can see what the best looks like and you can make YouTube content, whatever.
He's focused on other things.
Yeah, it's like, but like you're the one that sets the tone for everybody else, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So everyone has to like look for, oh, what is he doing? And then whatever you do,
doing now, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really dope. You get to push that character to limits that no one thought they could do because everyone else is playing a bunch of a big pool of characters.
Have you been playing since like the game started?
Sorry.
That's for Picolo. Yeah.
Yeah. Because like I was wanting to get into it, but then like I would hear about like how the new characters are changing up the meta too much and how people like weren't playing it now, I guess. But
they just released very broken characters that like if you're not using them, like if you're playing against them and you don't have them on your team, you're probably gonna lose. So I think that's just bad game design. Like it has to they really need a balance patch. But so I'm still waiting for that balance patch to get to play again because it's really tough. You have to do so much more work to play with a regular character if you're trying to beat these super strong characters.
Yeah, that's messed up.
This is this kind of goes into the issue, and this is like I'm going to turn this into like I don't want to turn this into a Pokemon Unite hate train. I enjoyed Pokemon Unite. I really did. I think I enjoyed Pokemon Unite more than I enjoy League of Legends, to be honest. To just play. I enjoy Pokemon Unite. It feels very good. And I think most people would agree to that. It feels nice to hit your combos. It feels nice to be able to pick your Pokemon up and just like, I'm going to level them up and I'm going to, whatever.
Right.
The issue with Pokemon Unite for me became twofold. One, the monetization became kind of insane.
Right. I agree.
For a skin, because I played Machamp and I had a Lucario kinda. Like he was like my secondary. But Machamp was my favorite. And I remember they gave me a skin, and it was like, "Hey, you want this digital skin?" I was like, "Yeah, $40."
$40.
I'm like, bro, I just bought a whole game for $70. Dog, $40.
Like
that was insane to me, and I bought it because I'm an idiot. But I contributed. Yeah, I'm not better than anybody else.
I'm about to say, oh man, $40. How do you guys feel about spending money in video games these days? Now that we got it, I mean, because we all came from the sticks, it sounds like, but now we got some disposable income. How do you guys feel about that?
I just wish it wasn't that. How can I say that? It doesn't have to be that expensive. It's just a skin. Like I wish it was more affordable. Like everyone would buy it if it was affordable.
Yeah, $5 maybe, right?
And to really drill into this, $5 would be perfect. $10 even, $20 at legendary status would be okay. That's kind of where League goes. They go 5, 10, 20 for like the special deluxe skin that has like the extra emotes and stuff. That's fantastic.
40.
But it got worse because, like he just said, and I'm happy to hear that they're still doing it, or I'm happy to know that they're still doing it, so I don't go back to the game because he said that they were releasing characters. And this one it became kind of. I was trying to climb. I had a team. And we were trying to climb and become like very prominent. We were like, yo, we're gonna become the best. We're playing like top players randomly. We were like, good. We felt good. And then there'd be a character that would get released every so often, and normally you're excited. Oh, Scyther's out. Ooh, whoever's out. Buzzswole's out. But generally, with the exception of Buzzswole, generally when they release a character, Tyranitar is a good example. The character comes out, and here's what they do. First off, the character's broken, and I'm starting to believe it's on purpose.
Right.
At first, I thought it was design mistakes.
100% on purpose. That's by design.
Right. Because here's the thing, Godswill. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Like, why are they releasing these characters broken? I was like, okay, maybe they're just not used to balancing yet. But the thing is, they made it to where you can't even buy the character in the store with in-game credits. You have to buy the character for the first week. The character's out, you have to buy him with real money. So, like Picolo said, if you want to win ranked games, because the other team's going to have a Scyther or whatever on the team, if you want to win, someone better buy this character.
Right.
And I was like, y'all are predatory as fuck. I'm like, I'm not about to do this. I'm not playing this game like this. But two, the game is still fit. Like, monetization was the problem. But two, the balancing was off sometimes. I'm sure Piccolo feels the same. Sometimes, like, a character... Do you remember the Mr. Mime meta?
Oh, that was insane. Like, so listen to this. Mr. Mime is supposed to be a supporter. So here's some healing or here's some buffs and that kind of stuff. Like, He's not supposed to be a threat. So they had, I think it was like a new skin for mine, and then they buffed mine so that he became a menace. And he was like this killing machine that came on your way, and you had no way to stop it. Even though you were like an attacker, a defender, a speedster, whatever, you were going to get killed by a supporter. That's not reasonable. Like,
bro, you couldn't do anything, Godzilla. It was insane. This support character would run up on you, bold as hell, whoop your ass, and there's nothing you can do. And he would like 1v5 your team, bro. I'm not even. This isn't even like ridiculous. Like I'm not even lying. We'd have to come. And I'm sure Picolo knows this too. You and your teams would have to coordinate and be like, we have to stun him in succession, so he doesn't get out of his stun and whoop our ass, bro.
Oh my goodness.
It was insane.
Oh my goodness, no.
The game it fell apart for me. I'm like, I can't keep doing this to myself. Yeah. I enjoy playing it.
Yeah.
But the monetization became insane, and I'm like, y'all aren't even trying to balance this. And like Picolo, I'm sure Picolo knows this, the balancing came out once a month or something. When we all knew it was affecting ranked, like everyone was like, yo, is the ranked even like people just picking Mr. Mime and winning? I'm like, dog, this is not fun to me.
That sucks.
And the game had potential. I think it had so much potential to be amazing. If it had more maintenance and more integrity, I guess, the game would be fucking. I love it. I enjoyed it a lot.
Do you have hope, Picolo? Do you think like it'll go back to glory?
I don't have hope, but like once in a while they can like before they release a really broken character, there's these times of peace where the meta is kind of balanced, and those are the best times to play. So like last time that happened was before they released Zacian, the dog with the sword on his mouth. That was like, that meta was perfect because it was kind of balanced, and I used to win so much. And then Zacian came in and it became impossible.
Dang.
Yeah. And he's winning because of skill, right? Because like when things are
right.
Like,
it's very brain dead. You just have to like to press buttons, and then the skill does like the play for you.
Oh, skill depths. Man.
Tyranitar was a menace too.
I'm very invested in this game. Sorry, I'm very invested in this game. I will keep talking about this.
I was like, I need to talk to you about this. Like, I definitely want to hear your true emotion about this, because I knew and also like, because Josh was the one who trained me, but then I was like, oh, you got world champion over here. I definitely got to hear about this game.
Yeah, that's just insane.
That sucks.
I never entered a legit tournament for it. I was just ranked on the leaderboards. I never really
like. Were you thinking about doing like actual tournaments?
At one point when I was like really into it, I was thinking about it, but it's just like then I was just like I think I quit around the time Tyranitar came out. He was busted as hell. I made it through. Mr. Mime was busted. Then they changed the map, and the map change was phenomenal. Map change was like so much better. And I played a little bit, and Mew was out. Then Scyther came out broken. And it was like characters just kept coming out broken after one or another. I'm like, y'all can't be doing this on accident.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this game. Yeah. I deleted it, and I never went back.
Wow.
And now I relapsed and went back to League. Like my ex-girlfriend is bad.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Someday I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be just like that.
I'm about to ask, like, are you thinking about getting into League?
Not give up. I lose faith.
Got a little bit of your MOBA hit, right?
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Bro. If you ever get tired of it, want to like get mad at League with me, bro, just jump on. I got no problems.
God. I'm considering. I will have to like to
no.
just learn how to play it. I have no idea how to play League.
No. It's a MOBA and it's more balanced than Pokemon. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow. I don't know. I just every time I hear about people talking about League is like just how stressed they are, how toxic it got. I mean, I guess it got better. People will say they play casual, but it sounds like these are only you play ranked, I play ranked. It sounds like you're gonna play ranked too, right?
Yeah.
Picolo, do you play casual, or are you like a ranked main type of guy?
I like ranked because I want to be challenged. Like, just
same.
Don't want easy to win.
I feel that. See, so I feel like you'd be in the ranked stressed games. I mean, honestly, for me, my game's Overwatch, and I warm up in rank. I don't warm up. I would like to do a quick play, but I'm like, let's not waste time. Let's just get to it.
I'm not wasting my time. If I'm playing a video game, I want to get something out of it. I don't want to just be sitting in normies.
Yeah. Oh, that was so fun. I guess, how do you feel about rank and comp modes? Like, people, like, I'm always... Yeah, how do you feel about ranked modes and comp modes?
Uh, I don't know. Sorry, I don't get it.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, he means like ranked and like normal mode,
Yeah,
like
like quick
non-ranked.
play. And,
I just prefer the challenge of a ranked match.
yeah, no, I feel that.
So
Like,
I think
For
that's
the
a very
regular
human
ones,
reaction.
especially like I don't know how is it like in Overwatch or League of Legends, but the regular ones in Unite are like children playing. It's insanely easy to win. Like it's just not fun.
yeah, just slap everybody and just like, all right, let's
Yeah,
play.
just characters walking around. They don't even know that they have to farm to like get strong and evolve and stuff like that. It's just nah. That's not why I play it.
For real, for real.
Oh my God.
Um,
So, oh,
okay,
go ahead.
yeah, you had some, Josh?
No, I was about to say, to get back on that DC track,
Yeah, about to
with
bring that up.
with
Yeah.
uh, with you being so into like now that you work with DC and everything else, it's like, are you having a hand in the comics? And 'cause I know the Teen Titans are having a run in the comics too. Are you a part of that?
You mean like the regular comics?
Yeah, like DC Comics in general.
Because the ones that I work on, the graphic novels, they're like self-contained stories.
Ooh.
It's a series of books, but like let's say you get the Beast Boy book, the story is gonna begin and end on that book that you just bought. I never got to work on the DCU, like the comics, the comic book shop kind of comics, the ones that come out every week.
Mm-hmm.
Now I like that.
The
That's
ones that
fine.
I
I
work,
think
Do this
yeah, the
world.
ones that I work on, they took me like almost a year to get done, and I get to release the book a year.
Wow.
that's kind of dope though. I actually enjoy
I
like
prefer it
maybe
that way
like
because it has, like, I have plenty of time to work on pages. Like I feel like the deadlines for the comics are much more stressful because they have to come out
yeah,
so fast.
Yeah, I'm about to ask.
because
I was
they
like,
have
your
a
schedule
schedule
sounds
they're keeping.
better, a lot more
Right,
manageable. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So you're almost like the equivalent to like Batman, like how Batman has those the one-off comics where it's like the death of the
Like
family, things
killing.
like that. Like you're kind of like the you make the OVAs essentially. No, that's
Right,
crazy.
exactly. And like
Those are the
one thing
best
that
stories though. That's why people should read
I,
comics.
and one thing that I like about these is that they're not in universe,
Mm.
so we're not competing with any sort of information or story that's happening right now. The comics they being sold by DC, so we can pretty much do whatever we want. Like we have a lot of like leeway to do whatever we want with the characters, with stories, because we don't have to think about all the legacy and stuff that DC's been doing with the
Mhm.
comics.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
And
And like
I feel like
actually like
those
sort
are
of reignited like my interest honestly like in DC or comics. Like I like how it feels. I think this is like sort of like what I would like for like another standalone universe to do, sort of just sort of bring the characters into like a sort of real world, like,
Right,
yeah. And I mean, like, yeah, like would you like you would want to hang out with these guys? Like I'm looking at like this
right.
right
They used to
now.
be my friend. Like I could
Yeah,
just hang out with them. Exactly. That's the feeling
exactly.
that I want.
Like, do you have like also I did want to ask, do you have like a favorite image? I have a favorite image, but I actually want to see like if you had like a perfect a personal image that you really liked.
Based on the ones that I do.
Yeah, at least on your social or
I think
like yeah.
if I got to pick one, it will be the one that they're like at the drive-in, and Robin's like on his back, and you can see he's holding the Red X mask, and then everyone's like, you can see everyone in front. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah. Wait, let me see.
I feel like I just really like that one because it has the whole team, and it kind of like has a like this storytelling going on, because the Red X is a plot line that I want to work on. Like I'm working on the house party that I just uploaded. I really want to work on this Red X side story too.
Okay, I'm
I
very
think
hyped.
I think that's what people would really want to see. Just because like in the actual manga, in the actual show, like the episodic one, it was they never really resolved the Red X stuff at all.
And I kind of love that, to be honest, because it left us with a cliffhanger that I can touch on, like I can explore on these drawings. I kind of like that.
You know a little bit. I'm a little miffed about that. I'm like, wait, what about Red X? We never talked about who that was. But no, I guess I agree with y'all. I think it's for the best that it
Right.
is
We got
who is
also like there's another cliffhanger on the show, which is Tara. She
is she alive?
uh,
Yeah.
the very final episode shows Tara, but she kind of lost her memory and stuff. So
Mhm.
it has this cliffhanger going on, and I definitely want to do that. Like at least touch on that and draw Tara and introduce her on the team.
That'd be cool. Although Tara
Yeah.
made me so angry back in the day.
Ah,
So
me
I
too.
thought she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
cool.
I was like,
I
yo,
like Tara.
hold on. Like, just, I was actually sort of happy when she was sort of gone. Like, as a kid, I was like, I don't know. Yeah, for me, it's like
Yeah.
like my favorite image is also like with the whole team. Like I love the one like where Cyborg like holding the bottles and like is like nighttime like at like this motel type of spot, and I'm just like
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, I like that one too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For me, it like it just makes me like I want to like hang out with these guys. Like I want to like I wish I like could grow up with these guys, and I've never had like such a nostalgic feeling with art. Honestly, like I like even just going through it like on a different window, and it's just like wow, yeah, these guys. Like it's sort of like if I was younger, I would want to like even like dress like these guys and just be like, yeah, we're all gonna be Teen Titan guys in a way. Man, like
It's like
That's
yeah,
I think
right.
what you're going for is
yeah.
oh yeah.
What
No,
you
I feel like what God's was trying to say is like it's very comforting, right?
yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
like
But
yeah.
it
I
doesn't
could see
feel
that.
like it's like coddling me. It just feels really like almost like I'm watching like a good movie too, I guess. Hmm. Sort of hard to
That's very as an illustrator, as an artist, that's very rewarding for me to hear like that kind of vibe. Like that's the exact thing that I want to like to how do you say how what's the word for that? Sorry.
I guess like
Uh,
encapsulate, right? Like cap
exactly. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and like I like ever since like I first saw like this stuff, like it felt not just like a picture, but like I'm looking at like honestly like a show, like a movie. Like it felt like and I'm so happy that like this became like such a thing. Like like how do you feel about like this sort of evolution of like making art to like making, these comic books now, these books, these graphic novels?
I feel like fan art in general is just like I mean, sorry, I mean official work is kind of like a sophisticated version of fan art in a way because I have like the same kind of feelings drawing these characters. Like um, I was drawing them for myself because I'm a fan, just like posting stuff like. And then at some point, DC approached me and they were like, "Hey, can you do that? But can you keep doing that? But for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I don't know, like it's not. I don't feel like there's this. How do you say? Sorry, the
Like, are you getting tired of it?
they're
Like, does
not
it
that
feel
different. Like
like
the official content and the fan art, they're not that different. Like
yeah?
in
Mm,
essence, like what's going through your head, like as a fan drawing these things, you know?
that's good.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Because
Like, I
I feel like even the big guys working in the comics in the industry right now, like Hardy Jimenez, Damora, these guys that I love, I feel like they feel that way about those characters. Like, hey, this is just a Batman fan that got to draw Batman for DC, you know?
that's awesome. Like, that's one thing I always hope for with these creatives, like where it's like, I'm always a little worried whenever I hear like you like for example like Twitch streamers, right? Like they play a game
Right.
and they playing the game, but then because they have to do it for work, it, takes away from that. And that's something I always worry about, especially like when I see something so talented. But then again, your art hasn't like it's dope as ever, honestly. Like I wouldn't say like it feels
Appreciate
like
that.
losing anything. In fact, I would say it's even more refined in a way too, and it's still super dope. So I'm glad
Yeah, I
you
feel like
did that.
no, I'm definitely looking like I feel like with the type of art you were doing because I saw this art a couple years ago. I remember I saw like one. I think it was like the most. I think it's the one you had pinned. Yeah, it was like with them at the. It looks like they're in the bathroom or in the party all
Yeah,
together. You know, the standard. It was like that was the first one I ever saw. And I remember one of my friends showed it to me and was like, "Yo, this is dope." I was like, "Oh shit." Uh, we all enjoyed it, of course, but it's like as I'm looking through the rest of your like profile and everything, it's like I feel like kind of going bouncing off what Gods was saying. It's like if you're not inspired to do this, I feel like it'd be very difficult to like want to keep doing this
yeah,
because like these
Right.
scenes they feel very Comforting. I
Yeah,
don't fucking know.
warm.
The
Yeah,
word we're looking for.
warm.
One thing that is, no, keep going.
Oh, so you go ahead. You go ahead.
I feel like the thing for me is now that I'm working with these characters, and it's a ton of work. Like, it takes a lot of time to complete all these pages and to finish a book. I feel like I just wish I had more time to do even more stuff because I have plenty of ideas, but there's like not enough time to do it. So I'm not as active on social media as I used to be before I got to work with DC. But that's just because my work at DC consumes most of my creative time.
Yeah.
So
Which
I'm glad that I'm not ever lacking ideas. I'm always lacking time.
yeah, that's good. It's not good that you're lacking time. I feel that. I guess if anything to lack, like hopefully it's not like passion or
It's a powerful currency, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
Would you ever allow DC to like? I mean, it isn't even like I don't know if it's contractual or anything, but would you ever allow them to like pretty much pull from your stories? I know DC does that more often than I think comics in general do that more often than anime do. Where like they'll make a one-off, whereas a lot of times with anime, they'll make a one-off novel, and the novel will be like inserted like canonly into the story immediately. Like, oh, this is like Full Metal Alchemist novel, but yeah, it's part of the story. With DC, it'll be like Batman already has his continuum,
different
and
universe.
then like a side story will get brought up, like Death in the Family or something, and then eventually they'll just be like, yeah, that's actually canon, and they'll just kind of like, make it to where it is what it is. Have they done that with any of your work, or do you think they will be doing that? Or did they ask you? How does that all process work?
Um,
People are dying for Teen Titan stuff, man. We would love you to have your stories like put into the actual, continuum.
I never get to talk with because like, and this I can say that there are like different departments at DC that deal with this kind of stuff. So there's like a department just for the comics, and the one that I'm working on is like the publishing stuff, like the books and stuff. So it's just like they're not as connected as I think they are, as I thought they were. So like I never got this sort of question from DC, from the higher ups at DC. I don't think that's even crossed their minds. I don't know. Just because it's like completely different products, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. And I sort of would like it to be its own thing, I guess, versus.
I prefer that way, to be honest, because it, like I said, it gives me leeway to do pretty much whatever you want with these characters. Of course, I have a lot of respect for the legacy and everything that comes with these characters, but I would not prefer to be stuck on a timeline and whatever, and think of like bigger picture stuff and what's happening with like the Bat family, what I'm doing, the Teen Titans. Like, it's just too much. Like, I just want to be like this micro like thing,
Yeah, I agree. I think
Timelines
that become away like the love or the passion for it, especially if you have to be pulled into like that whole universe and on their timetable.
Yeah, it's too much to consider. Like,
yeah, it's for real.
Compared to
like, I can't imagine the world. Sorry.
I'll go. I'm sorry. I was saying that the timeline would be rough having to keep up with like what they're doing with your characters, especially since they have their they had their own.
Well, you're how can you be a party, man? Like, don't you know that your mission just happened? You're supposed to be stuck on some different planet.
Yeah, the Young Justice League or stuff they're doing. So it's like they'd be taking your Robin away, and all of a sudden you can't write your story because like when would that happen?
Right.
Like, that's a lot.
Like, I can imagine how tough it must be for a DCU writer to keep everything in mind while they're writing just this single character for this specific comic that they're writing for. Like that's beyond my mind.
I can't even think about that either. Like,
I can't even think about it.
Yeah, it's just too like I do wish I do want to say I do wish comics were like it is cool that Western comics have this, and like other pieces of media have like their things. I guess it's just so much that they have to like juggle the whole time. I sort of wish they would let a story finish, I guess, versus like, well, they died multiple times and they come back and we got to figure out
instead of like overcomplicating it. I agree.
So I do wish that like maybe they would let a character just sort of live and die. But then again, also I like that about Western comics, like where it's like Superman and Batman are time honored, you know, like everyone knows and at least respects, at least should have respect for like the greats, right? Because like they're still
Right.
around doing whatever they're doing right now, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what they're doing in
They,
the comics, but they're still significant forces, I guess, right?
Right.
yeah, they do this thing where they kind of reboot. That's kind of how they do it. Because God's like in like you're saying, if it wasn't for the reboots they do, like Superman would be like over 100 years old at this point. He'd be very old. Oh, he wouldn't actually be 100. He'd be pretty close to it though.
Yeah.
And you will have to read so many comics to get whatever was happening like at like 2023, you know.
Yeah, like you didn't know about Scott Allen, the first Green Lantern?
Right.
Like, bro, I'm trying
right.
to learn all that.
We're on chapter
Like,
600. Keep up, man.
it'd be so far beyond that. And so what they've done is they did this thing where they relaunch it, and it's like to their detriment, but also kind of it helps for a jumping in point, like Picolo was talking about earlier. There's like the Golden Age, and there's the Silver Age, and then there's the New 52. And New 52 came out like that was like 2011-ish, 2012.
Right.
Where they took 52 characters and they had them do like launch their own comics. So Cyborg had a comic, Nightwing had a comic, and you know they like relaunched. And Batman was like a little bit more, or Superman was a little bit more. What was the word? Cocky than he normally is because they were trying to give him more personality. But it's like you could start at those new comics and have a good time. Right now, I think they're in what's the new one called? The new DCU is like Reborn. I think I don't know if they're past Reborn.
That was the
Rebirth.
one that I picked up on. Like that was my very first because when Rebirth was happening, I was already a young adult and I already have money to actually buy comics.
Yeah.
And then that was the point at DC Comics that I started to read the comics, the superhero comics. So that was very like impactful for me.
Yeah, Rebirth is dope.
Also,
is that where they had
having money?
Like,
that's a huge thing. Like where it's like I wanted to get into comics back in the day. I think when I have more time, but physical books cost actual money, and my parents are gonna do that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, it felt cool collecting them, but yeah, they were definitely expensive, guys. I think it was like $9 or something, maybe a little bit more, 11. But I mean, it's like you have to collect all of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and they come out bi-weekly sometimes.
And it's like I get money like how often? Like hopefully like every, half a year, I guess, birthday,
back
Christmas,
then,
right?
And I feel like geek culture in a way in Brazil has been getting bigger with every year. So it's getting easier and easier to find comics, even though we still don't have comic book shops and we just don't work. It just works different from how it works in the US. So for example, we have just one single Comic-Con here. And I know that there's plenty of them in the US because I've been to many like across the country. And we have just this, and Brazil is just as big as the US if you're thinking the size of the country, but we just have this one massive convention that happens every year. And it's awesome because with every year it gets bigger and it's this massive event. So that it shows that there's interest, that people are very interested in these characters and this kind of like universe and stuff. So I'm hopeful.
That's dope. Okay. Like how long's that con been going for?
I have no idea. Maybe I'm not gonna say 10 years. Maybe 7 or something.
Wow. So like not even. Okay.
Yeah, it's not that old. Like
okay.
But dope. It's getting bigger. Like it's getting bigger every year. So it's just the size, just as big as New York Comic Con nowadays.
That's pretty cool. I mean, although hopefully they make some more because I can only imagine how many people would go to something like that. If that's you said like one in the whole country, right?
One in the whole country. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
whenever you feel like coming to Brazil, you should definitely come anytime in December, which is when Comic-Con experience happens every year. And December is like beginning of summer here in Brazil, so it's pretty warm.
Okay. Cool, because I hate the cold.
Hey, hold on there, Picolo.
Let's see.
What city in Brazil specifically should we come to? I'm terrified right now.
São Paulo, not Rio. São Paulo. Sao Paulo.
Okay.
Sao Paulo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
like Rio de Janeiro is the one that everyone knows about, and
Yeah.
São Paulo is kinda like New York because it's like this business center, like this huge city where everything is happening all the time. So
Yeah.
it's not as touristic as Rio because Rio has the beaches and stuff like that, but it's really nice. It's where I live, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
No,
tight.
it's like
there's
there's
plenty
always a
that's
bunch of
nice stuff to do. What?
I'm gonna come visit.
no, there was always a bunch of so I came from a MMA background, like a fighting background, and there was always a lot of guys, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specifically. There's always a lot of guys who are Brazilian who are in the gym with us, right?
Right.
But it became it was almost a thing, like it was almost a joke because Brazil, like some of them would be like, a lot of them, like you said, a lot of them would come from Rio, and they would talk about how dangerous Brazil is. So like in my mind, I was always like, do I really want to go to Brazil? I was like, hold on, for a comic thing, what if I get killed? You know what I mean? I feel like that's how people feel about America, but now I'm feeling
Depends,
about
like
the same way about another country.
I'm not gonna say they're wrong. Like how can I say that? I would not come to Brazil if I didn't have like a local to guide me through where I can walk and where I should be. Like like if I was a foreigner, if I was American, I wouldn't go to Brazil like randomly and like just pick some random place and like let's be a tourist because yeah, stuff's being kind of scary over here. But like I've lived in São Paulo my whole life. I've never been mugged or whatever over here. So it just like depending like if you know where to walk or where to be, like you're fine. I'm
Okay.
sure you of that. But yeah, they're not wrong. Like it's kind of
Because I've
kind
thought
of weird
about
over here.
coming as a tourist and just like, all right, let's see, what happens. But yeah,
I think it's risky. I think it's risky. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Like unless you have a local to like to guide you like where the good places are. I wouldn't do it like
hey,
randomly.
local, let's see where the good places are, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
bro, what are you?
But no, that's pretty cool though. But I mean,
And by the way, I don't know if you know that. I probably told you that back in New York, but here in São Paulo we have this massive Japanese community. I think it's the biggest one outside of Japan, and it's kind of like a Chinatown, but like a Japanese one, and it's sweet. It's amazing. Like the food is really great. Like I always have trouble finding good sushi when I travel to the US or whenever I go in Europe because the sushi here is just really good.
they set that bar too high, huh?
Yo, we might
You're
pull
gonna
up,
have a lot of
man.
fun.
Just
I'm serious. I'm gonna pull up for real. Like maybe I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
make plans for this December. Like that. Like
Just be prepared.
yes.
Just be prepared. Like just we'll get a nice spot next door.
Oh hey, Piccolo's here.
Teach us to have yeah, just teach us to have like enough, like let's just hang out enough so where we can pick up the accent and like so people think that we're Brazilian so they don't mug us. It'd be cool. I think we could pass. I think we could pass if we just like do enough mannerisms.
If I do a little breakdancing and say that's capoeira, right? That'll be cool, right? Like, oh, he's cool. Yeah, there you go. Oh man, yeah, definitely. I gotta make that happen. I wanted to ask. How did it feel like? I guess like becoming famous. It's like how did it feel like to see your art become more, everywhere?
uh, I I don't know. Like I'm always careful to not see like how can I say that because I know that yes, I am famous, but I'm famous within a very specific niche.
True.
Like if I'm at any Comic Cons, yes, I'm famous over there, but I know that it's on that specific environment. If I go to like a party or any I don't know influencers sort of bullshit that kind of stuff, like no one knows who I am, and I'm okay with that because like I very much prefer that my drawings are going to be famous instead of like me and my face. Like that's not who I'm trying to be. Like just because like I don't like that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Like, it's really nice to have my drawings out there and see people commenting on it on social media. Like that's super rewarding. I love it. But I try to like take a step back when it comes to like show my face. I'm like, hey, this is me. Like my face is not a secret. Like I'm not trying to hide or anything. But it's not the main focus of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense.
Absolutely.
Like I mean, even like when I met you, I was like, wait a second, but but yeah, and I also like, yeah, you're really humble. Like it's like it definitely
I don't
like
want to
this
be down
hasn't
to
like
earth with it because I know that like social media like it kind of inflates our perception of reality, and those numbers are like I don't know, like you just have to be careful. I just feel like that.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree. There's a, and it's crazy. I'm happy that I think the word you were looking for is like trying to stay grounded is what we would call
Yeah,
it
yeah,
over
yeah.
here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like we have that happen a lot where someone will have 1 million followers on Instagram or something, and it's really good. Like it is impressive. It really is impressive, and I think you had like 3 or 4. Like it's a very impressive thing. But then you remember that like in the past, a famous person would be someone like when you think famous, like worldwide famous, you're thinking an actor or something like someone that is like recognizable from like a mall, like you're in a mall full of people and like, oh my god, it's Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know what I mean? It's like, oh shit, it's Shaq.
Yes.
Like, but then people will be like, well, 2 million people on Instagram know who I am. But I'm like, the U.S. alone is over 376 million, and they're like, then you have the whole rest of the world. Like, I feel like it's good to stay grounded because like you are actually more famous than 99% of the population.
Yeah,
but it's just like to get too high on yourself would be one of those things where it always just ends up
detriment for sure, right?
Yeah, it's only detrimental. It doesn't ever do anything for you.
But no,
Exactly.
I like your personality for sure. Like it's like this is
Appreciate
like
that very much.
Yeah, like I think that's like what made me the most happy to like to talk with you because it was like, yeah, like I mean, like in the nerd world, boom, you're that guy, but yeah, like you're super chill about it, like it's like it's never.
And it's nice because like I feel like the 15 years old version of me would very much appreciate that because that was where I wanted to be, like the guys I wanted to hang out with. So that's nice.
That's tight. Yeah, I also did want to ask. I was like, were you always like a nerd too? Like, was it like low key?
Absolutely, 100%. Yes, well, absolutely. I was back in high school days. People were like hanging out and doing stuff, and I didn't have much social skills until very later on. And then I spent my time back in high school drawing a lot. Like I remember I was obsessed with Kingdom Hearts at the time.
Hey.
And I was like just trying to copy Nomura's style, and that was pretty much what I did all those years.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Whoa,
yeah.
Cool. How do you feel about Kingdom Hearts today, by the way?
It's a shame because I used to be obsessed with it, and then there was this whole phase where they introduced a lot of really important plot stuff on a mobile game that I did not have access to.
Yeah.
And it turned me off a lot because I was expecting the Kingdom Hearts 3 to end everything and to be this closure and whatever. And it was not. And they have like more stuff planned out. And I'm like, am I going to play Kingdom Hearts 4? 100%. Yes, I will. But I am not invested. I'm not that invested anymore. I'm like, okay, fine. My headcanon Sora sacrificed himself, and that's all right. And everyone's happy. And
I'm 100% with you. Like, where I was really hoping that 3 would finish things. When they showed the trailer for 4, I was a little mad, but I was like, all right, I guess we'll check it out.
But I feel played. Like, where is this going? Like you're not answering questions. You're just creating more questions with each coming game.
Right? Still.
It's weird. It's a weird decision. I feel like at this point, with as many as they like, the way they set it up, they did 1, 2, and they did all the in betweens, and then 3, and the course of time it took. I feel like it would have been fair to the fans, to then close it with 3 and be like, that book is done. Maybe a new IP, Kingdom Squares, nigga. I don't know. I think you could have changed it up. Like,
yes,
it could have been something different, and I would have been completely okay. Like, new characters, new story. But I don't like that. I don't really like that. I feel like, okay, now you're just milking it. I'm supposed to buy it because I...
Right. And I feel like they played all their cards on 3 because there's this scene where Sora goes to, like, that paradise thing, which is beautiful, the sky thing, I don't remember the name.
Yes.
And it's like, it feels like he goes through that afterlife kind of like trope, and then at the end of it, he's like in another dimension or something, and it's like you're playing that trope again. Like I don't know, it just.
Yeah, just finish it, please. Like,
just finish it. Yeah, where is this going? Like, where is this going?
right. I'm 100% with Josh. Like, I mean, because like before 3, like I watched so many videos trying to understand, what was happening. I was pretty obsessed with it too. I platinumed 1, 2, Birth by Sleep. But yeah. Anyways, I definitely like I had to see how you felt, because I feel like every Kingdom Hearts fan feels like that, and people are like, should I get into it now? And I don't know, I feel a little conflicted telling people
I don't know.
yeah, like now I don't know. I sort of wish, like, did you play it when it came out, like back in the day, to PS2?
I played
Or did you play it
1
like
and
more
2.
recently, like did you play before 3
No,
came
no,
out,
no.
like 1.5, 2.5?
I discovered it when the hype for Kingdom Hearts 2 was like going on.
There we
And
go.
then every sequel to Kingdom Hearts 2, so like Birth by Sleep and Rhythm Drop Distance, all of those I played
Wow.
when they were released.
Damn, that's hardcore.
That was like 2000. What was that? That was like, oh my god, 2005, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Kingdom Hearts 2 was like 2006, I think.
Man, yeah, that was an error, sure. Like
I was super hyped for 3. I just the one game that I did not play was the mobile Kingdom Hearts Key, whatever.
Yeah,
and there's plenty of plot relevant stuff in a mobile game. It's like insane. Why are you doing this with us? Do you hate your audience?
So wild, honestly.
They went the way of Pokemon Unite, man.
No.
They went too far. Like I don't stand for this anymore. I'm leaving. That's how I feel. I'm over it.
And that's smart. It's like, I think you gotta know when to call it quits versus having hope like the rest of us, right?
Right. Exactly.
That's hilarious. Shoot, man, dude, like, this was such a good time talking to you. I want to bring you back on for another episode soon. Like, there's just so much to talk about. I mean, like, the Final Fantasy, like the Final Fantasy image you have, Final Fantasy 7, like one of my favorites.
I am obsessed with Final Fantasy. That's like another can of worms that we can open next time.
Oh man, dude. Ooh. Okay, before we go, I want to ask, how do you feel about the remake series that they're doing for 7?
I would be happy if it was just like a how do you say, frame for frame, like scene for scene copy of the original. It's not, and I'm like hoping for the best.
Yes.
Because I had a great time playing the remake.
Yeah.
I just like the ending wasn't perfect, but
yeah.
I had such a great time playing everything that okay, I'm gonna trust you guys on that one.
Yes.
So let's see.
Yeah, I like that.
I just don't hope. I just don't hope they bring Zack back and they completely ruin Aerith's sacrifice and stuff like that. I'm just hoping that doesn't.
I hope so too. I hope these changes aren't going to be so crazy. I wish that was beat, honestly, but
right. I will be happy.
That
would be like the dream.
That'd be sick.
Conclusion: should I get it?
I say wait until part 2 comes out.
Oh, yeah.
But then I'll be late. I'll be playing part 1 still.
At least wait until like there's like more details about what 2 is supposed to be like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that you're not like super invested and it turns out to be crap.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're gonna get hurt.
But like, I would say 90%, 95% of the remake, the first
I thought it was dope.
episode of the movie, it's awesome. Like, it's
I
perfect.
loved it.
Like, I love how much they expanded on Shinra and everything. Like, that was like a fan's come true. Like, I loved it.
Yep.
It's just the whole ghosts. How do you say, arbiters of fate thing?
Yeah.
That's the only bullshit stuff that I don't like.
What's happening? We don't have to do this part. I 100% agree.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this.
Know. Who's your favorite in 7? Also, by the way, favorite character
in 7. I used to love Sid back in the day.
Hey,
I always wanted to have him on my team just because I like his vibe.
Yes.
I don't know. There are so many favorites. I love the style of Cat Seats. Like He's just so
Really?
weird.
No one has
I,
ever given Sith like any props ever before. That's hilarious.
he's just so weird, and like it's not very useful, like in game. Like he's not the most useful team member,
Yeah,
but he's just weird, and I like the style.
I like that.
Uh,
I like that.
I love
Someone need to
Cloud.
give some love. Yeah,
Right, right. I basically I love everyone. That's such a well-written game. I love it. I love it so
same,
much.
same. Barrett, I have to say, Barrett is my favorite because like he brought me like into the franchise. Like I would not have paid attention to Final Fantasy, and then like I saw Barrett, and I was like, wait, a black guy that curses? Let me see.
Imagine we're probably getting Barrett's arc, Barrett's story
Oh
on the
man, yeah,
next
with
game.
dying.
I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
oh.
I'm excited for that. Like that.
I remember playing the 97 version,
Yeah,
and I was like shedding a tear
I
on
was hurt.
that moment. Like
Oh
I was
my god.
like this is a couple of like polygons on
Pixels.
stuff. Like how do
Exactly.
you say?
Yeah, these
Yeah,
pixels.
there's a bunch of pixels. And I'm crying over this. Like, there's just so
Right.
good, just
Oh
so
my
well. I love it.
I hurt shot right there. I feel you with that. Like, and to see it now with the music and the action and the acting, I think
No, it's gonna destroy me. It's gonna destroy me. It's gonna be
oh,
amazing.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah.
I also, which Final Fantasy game is your favorite?
Good one. Like I can never decide between like story wise. I can never decide 7 or 10 because
Yeah,
I love 10 so much.
yeah,
I just don't love the play style of 10. I think
yeah.
it's kind of tough. Like it's not a game that I have fun playing. It's kind of stressful.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
in a way that 7 is not. 7, I think 7 is easier to get done. Like I can complete 7 like many times, and 10 I can just do one run and that's it.
Thank you.
And like
You said something that like I never had said out loud, but like I felt it too, actually. So I'm really happy you said that. Wow.
and I love the story of 10 is like amazing, and I love play style wise, not the story, but play style wise, I love 12. It's a hidden gem, I
Oh
think.
man, me too.
I
The
love
game,
it.
like, bro. Oh my god. Okay, Josh. Yeah, I did whatever. But like, no, it's hilarious. 12 also is a low key favorite for mine because of like how I played on PS2 and I was trying to get like the Zodiac Spear. I did everything, but like I love
I
the
love
pro.
it. One thing that I absolutely love, and that was the first for me playing PS2 games back in
Yeah,
the day,
yeah.
was at some point they just let you do stuff like
Anywhere.
explore
Yeah,
and like you can mess up because
yeah,
you can end up on those the radioactive place. I don't remember the name, the wastelands something, or the
yeah.
necro hole of Nabudis, and then you get your ass whipped on those places, and it's glorious because you should not be there, and you should learn not to go where you're not supposed to. It's
Mm.
amazing. I love it. I can't forget the feeling of like being on a haunted place after walking around Salika Wood, which is like peaceful and serene. And
It
then I was like
also.
in the Necro of Nabudi, and I was like, what is this?
Oh my god, yes. I sort of wish that they would do that today. Like I mean like Elden Ring, I guess, but like also I didn't play Elden Ring yet, but same time,
I
yeah.
haven't played Elden Ring yet. I haven't played
I'm
Elden
not
Ring
alone.
yet. Yeah, I bet it's gonna be great. I bet, but
I
I
know.
just didn't.
Me too. Yes, okay, because also I'm always behind when it comes to playing like new games. Josh literally was just telling me this like a few hours before today. It was like you need to play the new games when they come out. And I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I feel it. But
You missed the height. There's a like a bonus fun thing that happens when you play the game when it comes out with everybody else. Like there's just like a bonus added to the environment. I don't know.
yeah,
You're right.
Like
I want to. I want to, but I'm addicted to Overwatch.
I'm addicted to Pokemon Unite, so that's
Yay!
keeping me from doing a bunch
Right.
of stuff.
We understand each other. See, like I was like, we're homies. We understand each other.
I do be thinking, like I do constantly think about going back to Pokemon Unite. I was actually bringing that up recently. I was like, I wonder if I should jump back into it because it is fun, but I don't want to deal
Yeah.
with all the fucking nonsense.
That's a fair point. Like, yeah, you guys have like everything you guys have said today. It was like, oh, maybe I'm not jumping back into it yet. But
Because they
Not
got some
yet, not yet.
characters in
No,
there. Like,
not worth it. Not yet.
okay, at least like
what's that bear? what's that Kung Fu Bear they added in there?
Urshifu. It's such a menace. I hate
want to
him.
play that guy.
But he's so broken. Like he's so broken. Like have fun because you're gonna destroy. You're gonna fucking obliterate everyone on the other team. So have fun. Damn. But he's like very broken right now.
Oh my god.
That sucks. Yeah, it sounded like the game. It sounded like the game to rule other games, and then it's just like, sorry everybody.
If I think personally, what I was thinking, I was like, if they gave more love to that game, if that game had like someone, it was in better hands, that game should have taken over. I feel like. Right.
Imagine it was like League of Legends of Pokemon. Like it's insane. It could be like the potential
to you never run out of content, and like. The thing is, it's like you have the potential here with this IP that it's a beloved IP that everyone loves. You have the ability to make this game, balance it out, and make skins that are like just cool. But instead, do you want Chansey with a ribbon? $10. Bro. You want Charizard with a hipster outfit on? $20. Oh. I don't.
Dang.
They're terrible, man.
Yeah. Like we do have income, but come on now, are we really gonna just blow it on costumes? That's a good point.
The costumes are corny. League of Legends kills costumes.
Yeah, man, you guys got me sold on that. Damn it. Anyways, let me not take up all your time, Picolo. I appreciate you. This was such a pleasure to be able to talk with you. I've been wanting to hang out for a minute, and I know it's hard. Like when, first of all, you're as busy as you are. And
that was a lot of fun. I appreciate it very much,
dude. Thank you. Like, I would love to have you back on. I feel like we just started scratching the surface. We didn't even talk. We talked a little bit about work. We talked a little bit about nerd shit. But it is what it is. Just like that's what this podcast is. It's like a little bit of a taste. But dude, it was a pleasure talking to you. I definitely want to talk to you a lot more. We'll love to have you back on the podcast when you got some more time. But good luck with your projects. I'll be posting where everyone can find you. I mean, is _Picolo. So, but we'll be posting
anywhere. Yeah, you're always going to find me.
I like that. You can also find him still on Pokemon Unite. So get on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're playing Absol with a Picolo guy, that's me.
Is the one.
Wait, hold on, bro. Let's be real. If you're top 15, they're not playing with you. They're not playing with you, bro.
Unless you are if you're top 20, though, you probably know each other, right? But
bro, half these people don't even know to group up for Zapdos yet, bro. They don't know what's going on.
No. Oh no. Okay, if you don't know the base, play with him. You can go to the leaderboard and see where he's at. But until then, get your game up. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. It was an absolute pleasure. Want to have you back on soon, but hope to see you on the con route, and definitely going to be picking up your books pretty soon too. So yeah, Teen Titans Robin is available to buy now, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the latest one.
Sweet. Cool. Super excited. Thank you so much for being on, and for everyone that listened, y'all are dope. Appreciate y'all. Peace.